Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of A Pretty Little Podcast. I'm Allie, Violet Vixen Commissaro, and I'm here with my podcaster in crime, Jesse.
Hello, guys. I'm so excited to have a returning guest tonight. Take it away, Allie.
Joining us tonight is Nick Meyers of 717 Entertainment, the mastermind behind some of the best shows in the Central PA scene. We dive into the world of booking, promoting, and hear all about his plans to celebrate their upcoming milestone. Please welcome Nick Meyers back to the show.
Yay! Everybody clap.
Hello. Hey, guys.
Welcome
Thanks so much for
back.
having me again.
No
Appreciate
problem.
it.
Tell us all about what's been going on with you.
Well, I want to just say first, congratulations. Congratulations on 400 shows. That is just awesome.
Thank you. Actually, we actually surpassed that. So it's really the 400th is actually kind of the 400th ish. We're actually like we're between we're 4, 5, 6, 7 area now. So it's just kind of hard to book that like exactly on the 400th. So. But yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. It's been a long
I
road.
totally understand. Like we're coming up on 100. Like,
oh really? Congratulations to you guys.
And it's a lot more difficult than I thought. Like all the bands that I want, like they're touring and they're like busy, and I'm like, oh man, like it's so difficult to choose.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some picking and choosing and some fancy.
Before we get into how you're celebrating, I want to take it back to a little bit and find out some stories behind 717 Entertainment.
Okay.
So, how did you first get started with 717, and what was the first concert that you had kind of like put together?
The first one I did was at Galifty's. It was an award show at the time called the Doctor's Office Awards. I was writing for a website, and they had a message board, and on it, someone had mentioned something about an award show, a local type award show, and I thought, well, I'd do that. I didn't really think I had the capital to do an actual show. So through some friends and everything, I ended up doing that at Califty's. And that turned into the 717 Awards. I think the second or third year I changed it to that. And I really liked doing it. The first show was a mass clusterfuck, so I tweaked it a little bit. But yeah, I just kind of started making friends with some of the bands and wanted to have them back and had a good time doing it and just kind of took off from there.
So I've been to quite a few of your shows.
Yes, yeah, thank you.
I can't even like off the top of my head even put like a number together. But what was the biggest lesson that you've learned with putting the shows together? Because I mean, like all the shows I've been to, like they've been pretty flawless, or at least it seems that way.
I think the biggest is probably expect the unexpected. There's always going to be issues. I feel like every day I wake up, that's a show day. I just kind of assume something's going to go wrong, and get in that mindset, and we fix everything and go forward from there. But there's a lot of days that it doesn't. But for the most part, there's always little challenges here and there throughout the day, and I've got a good team of people at each venue and everything that everything's tackleable. So, but I would say that's the biggest thing is just expect the unexpected because it'll be there.
Definitely. So how do you go about like selecting the lineups for the different shows?
It varies. Sometimes, I mean, it varies as far as some of these shows, some of these bigger ones just have some of these nationals that come in. Like we just had Corpaclani last night. That was just a tour package. They already had the four bands on it. Um, some of those are just tour packages that they don't want any extra. So those are, you know, fortunately and unfortunately, because I would like to get some locals and stuff on or regionals on those shows because there's going to be a lot of people there and I'd like to get them in front. But also fortunately because it saves time, I guess. But I don't know. And it helps the nationals to run their show the way they want to run it, I guess. But I like to get the locals in there or the regionals or whoever. But these other shows, it, there's so many different ways. It's just sometimes people just hit me up about getting on a show. Sometimes I will have people in mind for a certain show. Um, that people that fit with other bands. Some bands kind of gravitate towards each other too. So there's sometimes it's almost like a band will come in a package almost.
Mhm.
Not specifically, but there are times when there are bands that play together quite a bit and they just go together really well. Um, so there's that. Um, like I said, just bands that fit. You know what I mean? Like if you got a metal, a Kubla Khan type show, there's
Mhm.
bands that are gonna blend with that really well. If you
The
have a
more
more pop,
hardcore bands.
yeah, if you have a more pop rock, and I do like to mix it up though, so I make it more difficult for myself. But a lot of it's people being interested. I have a list in my head of bands that have reached out to get on shows, and we try to accommodate everybody. It's
Who are
hard
some bands,
sometimes.
like, just off the top of your head that you like to book? Like, who are just a couple to throw them out there that you
Um, well, it's funny. I was on my website, 717entertainment.com, working on that, some of the back history thing. And I have on there all the bands that I've booked, national, regional, uh, local, everybody that I've ever booked. And I was taking a look at who I've booked the most. And some of the ones up there, Observe the 93rd is up there at the most. I booked them more than anybody. Um, Defiance up there. Suicide Puppets are up there. 1818. Some of the regionals I've booked Monster of Morta quite a few times. Source, who's coming
is
in.
Traverse up there? Because I thought I saw Traverse quite a few times.
No, they're not actually. I've been to quite a few of their shows, but I've only actually booked them a couple times. I gotta have to get on that and get them moving up the list because I like those guys a lot.
So I have to ask, who do you who do you not like to book? Who just when you see that announcement come over your email, you're just like, nope.
Um, I wouldn't book Trapped.
I think most people wouldn't.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, what is the deal? Because a lot has happened with, and I've noticed with a lot of the people in Central PA. What transpired with all that? Like with, I guess, Chris, is that his name?
Yeah.
Can't stay off of Twitter.
So he he's one of those keyboard warriors, and we kind of, I wouldn't say feuded, but I had sort of a disagreement type argument thing on Twitter once or twice. I know his views on certain things, and he's posted some pro pedophilia type stuff, and that's the reason why I think most people don't like the guy. Um, that and the fact that I do know from people that have made the mistake of booking him, he's terrible to work with. He's like one of those prima donnas. Um, you know, wipe the mustard off my sandwich type of people. Um, and I had gotten an offer for a tour last year with Josie Scott, and some other bands on the tour who I like. And
Just like
so,
you just
yeah,
said.
I had told the agent, I said, I'll take this tour, but we can't have Trapped on this tour because in this area they just, you know, despite me, it has really doesn't have anything to do with me. We just this
Say
area.
pedophilia shit. You can't say fucked up shit and then not have the consequences of your actions. Like that's all it is. You
Yeah,
can't say
and
that and then expect to get shows or people want to deal with you. You know?
yeah, and there's
Like
certain
there's been
areas
a
that
lot.
still there's certain areas I
I've seen
think that
so many
still.
people. Like I've seen so many people, like not only you, I'm just asking you, like I've seen so many people out in central PA that just if anything comes up that they can use a punchline, like trapped is just like thrown
Yeah,
in there. And I was like, wow, like what did they do to like cause
I
that many
mean,
people to like bring them up?
they just can't. You can't book them in this area 100%. A couple of venues have tried, and they just get annihilated. Um, so yeah, so they posted the tour, and Trap's name was on it. So the venue was getting calls. I was getting calls. So I just made one nice post about saying that they're not on that date of the tour, and he commented underneath it, and it just turned into a shit show. And the
Oh
agent
wow.
ended up, yeah, and the agent ended up pulling that show, the whole show. So it is what it is. But yeah, they're
Oh
they're not on the top
gee.
of my list. So, but
Speaking of people
I think the
like
feeling is
asking,
mutual. So,
like speaking of people asking like crazy things, like what's the craziest thing that somebody, you don't have to say who it is, but what's the craziest thing that somebody's asked you as a demand to like come play a show?
um, it's fun. I don't get, even with these bigger bands, I haven't gotten any like really crazy requests. Most of it's pretty basic. Some of it's more than others, of course, but
Mhm.
it's pretty basic for the most part, like the food that they want and things like that. But I will say, I think the one that was probably the funniest was, and I'll tell you who it was because they'll probably laugh about it. Back in the day, I had booked Moto Grader, and
Mhm.
they asked in their rider they wanted a rubber chicken, and
Yeah.
the reason was it was a joke. So they just put it in there to see who would actually get it for them. But I
Mhm.
think that was the one that struck me the most is what the hell is this? But they
Did you
didn't
end up
really. No, I didn't. I laughed and was talking to them and I said, I'm not getting it. I don't think I can get a rubber chicken. And they just laughed and said, we didn't really want you to. We just put that in there as to see who actually will do it and we'll collect them and at the end of the tour we'll do something. So it was pretty funny. Yeah. But for the most part, honestly, I can't really think of anything absolutely crazy. I mean, there's no like take out the orange M&Ms or the red M&Ms for me or anything like that. It's everyone's pretty, you know, some are pretty outlandish as far as how much they want, but it's not, it's just alcohol. Some people want a lot of alcohol, some people want a lot of food, but it's nothing out of the ordinary, really.
Now, have you had any like last minute disasters that actually ended up being like an incredible show?
All the time. There's always last minute stops. Um, Trying to think. Probably the best one was with when we did Head PE in Crazy Town and Edema, they were and Tantric. Seth Shifty was having a rough time of it, and he wasn't making shows. And the singer for Tantric went to pick him up. So the question all day was if they were going to make it in time, and they ended up. We switched. We did have to switch a set, so Edema played earlier than they usually would, but it ended up being Rockstar because they showed up literally like 2 minutes after Tantric's set time, and he just gets out of the car, walks up, and plays, and it was pretty rock star actually. But yeah, there was some stress that day. Not really for me, because I mean, I just like I said, you kind of adapt to what's happening. So I kind of figured it is like I said, it is what it is. So whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen. Like I didn't really want to get too stressed until they actually didn't show up. And then I would have been kind of stressing about what to do, but they did, and it was pretty awesome. They both put on awesome performances, and like I said, it was pretty rock star. Just watching them kind of pull in, get out of the car, head up on stage, and just rock it.
So let's get into it. You've got your, you said you already had your official 400th show. Who was it, buddy?
we did.
Who was it that you ended up having on the 400th?
The actual 400th, I can't remember exact. I think it might have been the Platinum Moon show we did in January. It was either that one or the Suicide Puppets EP release. I can't remember. I have to go back and look, but it was one of those two that actually landed on 400.
Well, tell us all about what you're doing to celebrate.
So, for the 400th, we're doing. We're gonna do it at Underground Live, which is the old Galifties, which is pretty cool because, like I had said, that is where I did my first show.
That's
So,
cool.
yeah. So the fact that building that room is still there after all these years, and we can do that is pretty cool. We're gonna do Friday and Saturday, so we do 2 nights. Friday, we still have one band that we're working on to get. So we still do have it to be announced for that. Discrepancies is headlining that night, which is they're a really awesome band. We had them like a year or two ago at Love Drafts, and they were amazing. And then also we have my buddies from Altoona, Hate Grenades, playing The Art of Deception.
Mhm.
They're doing a special show where they're playing their EP front to back, and they're debuting a brand new track that night. Brendan Starr is kicking it all off that night.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All the alumni, right?
Yeah, pretty much. And the rounding out that night, Living Dead Girl is going to be playing that night as well. Then Saturday, I had one of my absolute favorite bands ever, King 810 is headlining.
Yay.
And just a plethora of local musicians. Some of my favorite up and coming guys. This is a Threat is doing their return show there. They've been going through some changes the last month or two, so they're gonna come back and play that. No Fight, No Victory, Blood and Earth, Akikosa. Nail Bite will be there.
Nail Bite, you got one of their limited shows.
Yes. They're not playing very many shows around the area, and we've been talking to them about doing something special that night that may or may not include me.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes.
Keep your eyes posted for. You got to go to find out.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And then Mantra of Morta, who's another one of my favorite bands. They're playing Julian Fist, who plays like maybe once a year, and they actually played my very first show. So
cool event, huh?
That's a lot of bands to get all on board for like all at one time.
Yeah, I was really blessed to have them interested in and excited about doing it. So yeah, I'm pretty stoked about that. Actually, I'm pretty excited about that one. That one's coming up May 17th, 16th, and 17th. So we have tickets on sale now. It's Friday's $25, but Saturday's $30, and then there is limited tickets that are on sale for both nights for $50. So you get to save like $5, I think. Oh yeah,
And this is
fight the
a
phone.
smaller venue than with Love Drafts. So
It's a little bit
anybody
smaller.
that
Yeah,
wants to
so,
go, buy tickets now. Like, get them.
yeah,
'Cause-
yeah. It'll be packed in there. It'll be good times.
So what else? Do you have anything else that people can kind of like anticipate?
Yeah, we're working with some different venues with the Love Drafts transition. So we have a couple things coming up at some different venues. Racehorse Tavern, we're gonna have a couple things there. Doing one or two over at the Phantom Power in Millersville. We have one scheduled for there right now, which is a Skylit Drive. That'll be there on May 24th. And then been doing a couple at XL Live. The Birthday Massacre is going to be there
Cool.
the 29th of April. And we're announcing another one tomorrow. Well, this is live, right? We're live right
No,
now?
it'll be tomorrow. It'll air tomorrow at 8.
Oh, all right. Well, then we'll already know. So tomorrow, XL Live's also going to have Lords of Acid.
Hell yeah, that's it.
Nice.
With Little Miss Nasty. That's going to be June 12th. So that's that one. And like I said, there's some other venues that we're talking to. Just in the transitional phase. And then, of course, once things get reopened at Love Drafts, we got plenty of fun stuff that we're planning on over there, too. So.
Well, that leads us to our next topic. Like, I have had so many people in my inbox asking me what's going on with Love Drafts. And like you've told us a little bit online, like, yeah, like they lost their like they lost the building, I guess.
They didn't lose the building. They're upgrading.
Mhm.
Okay.
They just grew out of that building. Yeah, that space is we get bigger acts in, and so they're just upgrading. Unfortunately,
Have they found a venue?
they have. I'm not allowed to speak about it, but everything's online. If you look online, it's all there.
Yeah.
I mean, they've dropped information on their Facebooks, and I've shared a couple things, so it's all there.
Just keep your eyes peeled for what's next for them, I guess, public.
Yeah, yeah, and throughout the last couple years with Love Drafts, they've been top notch about with everything that goes on. So everyone can trust them in knowing that we're moving on with a bigger and better things, bigger bands, bigger space, bigger, everything. It's going to be awesome. I'm really excited.
Now, can you say whether it will be, I mean, like, will it be around the same area as
It won't be.
the,
It won't be. It won't be far.
okay.
I can say it'll be within. It'll be within like 10 minutes of where it is now. So it's not. We're not. They're not moving to like Philly or anything.
That would be
I'm
yeah.
not gonna lie, like I live like up in like Bucks County, and like I would love a Love Drafts.
And yeah, well, maybe one day we'll see. I don't know, but everybody,
Drafts Town.
yeah, that would be fun. Everybody's pretty local as far as owners and staff and promoters and all that stuff. So, I mean, who knows? I feel like with them growing, the sky's the limit. I mean, they were growing just that building in Mechanicsburg. They were growing every couple months. They were, I mean, it was like it was more of a restaurant and sort of having shows at first, and then it just kind of escalated into, it transformed
The spot.
completely. Yeah, it transformed into just completely the,
Spot.
yeah, and it was just only a music venue at this point. So they've done an amazing job of building.
I
So
saw Putrid Pile there. That was sick.
who was it?
Putrid Pile with my
Oh
kids.
yeah,
That was a
yep.
sick show. I tell everybody I saw Putrid Pile, and they're like, "Wow, I am so jealous of you." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's right." I'm always gonna make it out to see Morty. Always. That was sick.
Yeah, they've done some good stuff.
So where can where does everyone go on to 717 to order tickets to your festival?
Yeah, you can go to 717entertainment.com, or Facebook 717 LLC, Instagram. We're everywhere.
And I will definitely go on and try to share the ticket link with everybody, because I'm
Thank
telling
you.
you, like, tickets are probably going to sell out to this.
Yeah, that's the goal.
How many bands do you have all together?
I think we have 16 or 17. I think it's 16. I think it's 10 on Saturday. Which I did forget to, that I want to mention. Not forget, but we just got Karma. That those guys who
Love
they're
them.
just, yeah, they're gonna, I think this is only like their third or fourth show. And since I have been doing some tribute things in the last couple years, I wanted to include one. So I got they're called Evanescence. They're an Evanescence tribute, and we had them last year, and they were incredible. So they're on there too. So it's just a whole mess of bands. It's gonna be awesome.
Dude, we must have like really similar tastes, because like I was looking to like put something together kind of for like our 100th episode. And man, like all the bands, I'm like, of course Nick Myers wants them.
They're good. What can I say?
Karma.
They're good.
Karma,
Karma's
they
awesome.
came out of nowhere, because like I was going there like for Lilac, like I mean, they're my people. At like Karma would just like came out and just
They were unbelievable.
it. And I'm like, yep, they need to come on. Like, we need to. I did like a little interview in the back green room, and I was like, dude, like, we need to get you on for like an official episode with Jesse, and like, legit.
I'm sure they'd be totally down for that. That was their first show too, and they were incredible.
They're just so fun.
Yeah, they are. That's the only time I've seen them. I think they've only played maybe one or two other shows. So yeah, they're gonna go somewhere, I think.
Oh, definitely. Like they've got such personality. I mean, like I mean, it takes a lot for me to really connect with certain genres. Like at this point, I see so many shows, so like it's got to be like something really like impressive for me to like really catch my eye like that and connect.
Right.
And man, they were just so fun. Like I wanted to know all about them. I wanted to know like what inspired like the Pink like bands, just everything. Like they're just fun. And Jackson's vocals are just insane.
He's an animal. His range is just insane.
And they love it. Like they love performing. They love doing their thing up on stage, connecting with fans. Like they just absolutely love it.
Yeah, they seem to. I they had released a couple singles, and I was pretty excited to see them already. But man, their performance just blew me away. I mean, they were even better than I expected, and I kind of
Right.
expected them to be good because I know all those guys, and they're all professional, and they're all good at what they do. So, I
Dude, that
mean,
whole show was just incredible. Like that whole show was just start to finish, just
yeah, that was a
really good.
fun one. We will. That's another one. We will get Lilac before the end of the year too. I was just talking to the other day actually, so we're gonna get something going with them as well.
I really hope we don't lose them to the UK. Like they look like they're having way too much
I
fun
know.
over there. I wrote them too. I'm like, as soon as you get back, we want to hear all about it, about
Yes.
everything. Like,
Yeah, yeah, they could be good anywhere. I mean, like you said though, yeah, hopefully they stay stateside. So, but yeah, we'll get them back up here because they were actually they actually played one of their first shows up here at Love Drafts too. It was one of the first 10 shows that they did. She is just such a go getter. Um, you know that with
my
her.
son, even my son, like
Yeah,
he's I was making him go to a lot of shows. So he like got to the point where like unless you're like doing something like really, really like just dynamic, he's just like they're not Imagine Dragons, mom. So like we went to that show. I was like, you gotta come see Lilac. Like I'm telling you, you'll really, really like them. I let him listen to a couple songs. And man, when Cam threw that keyboard, like
yep.
Jackson's whole face just lit up and he's like, they're legit, mom.
Yeah, they're
So
good.
now
I like
every
them.
time like he hears they're playing, he's like, I'm in. I'm going.
Yeah, yeah, me too. Whether it's my show or not, if they're around the area, I'll go see them.
Like you never like I can never get him to wait for a band afterwards. Like he's always like, let's go, let's go. My phone's dead. Like I need to get out to the car. And he's like, we can wait. Like they're talking to fans, mom. Like we can wait.
Yeah, I like that they do that too. They're
But
very passionate.
all the bands on your lineup, they're all dynamic. Quite a few of them have been on. I'm sure quite a few of them will be on in the future.
Yeah, any of them. Have them on to pimp the show. I'm
And
sure they all love to be on.
where is Underground Live?
It's in New Cumberland,
Okay,
so
where is that like in reference to Love Drafts?
um, I would call it about 20 minutes away, down 83. Actually, not even. Maybe 10 minutes down 83.
Okay.
It's right off the exit of 83, Camp Hill, New Cumberland area. So it's not
Okay.
far at all.
For all those bands, for even on like the busier day, like $30 to see all those bands, like find any show anywhere that has that many playing and like all legit great bands, like you're getting a deal. Drive the extra 20 minutes.
Yeah, they're all bangers, as the kids
now,
say.
now, can you? Is there a possibility that you might add people
So that
to it,
show?
or is it done?
The Friday we do have one more slot, and Saturday possibly. Um, it's possible I might add one more on that, but we also have some other stuff going on, so I still have to map the whole thing out completely. But yeah, there'll definitely be surprises. Um, so up until the show, there'll be some surprises, and at the show, there'll be some. I'm trying to get some people that used to, back in the day of the Galiftes era, trying to get some people from there involved. Brad Cox, who used to sing in the band or does sing in the band Schizo Calypso, he's gonna do an acoustic set. Um, there was a band around here called Red Room,
Mhm.
and like some of my closest friends in the world, and AJ and Jackie from that band are going to be playing as well. So it's a plethora of stuff that, like I said, there will be more announced to answer your question. I kind of
That's
took that.
exciting. Something to look forward to.
Yeah.
Well, last question before we go out. What has been the most rewarding show since you started for you?
That's so tough. There's been so many that felt so special. I think I would have to say two of them I'm about to say two of them that were on top there are the last award show I did, which was at Galiftes. We had well over 500 people in there, and it was From Ashes to News, like second show ever. So that was a pretty special night.
We have
And
been
then
trying to get a hold of them for like months now. Just saying.
yeah,
Like, I hope that reaches them. Like,
Mhm.
yeah, we've been all up in their
all in the
DMs.
grill. Yeah, I'm sure they'd love to be on the show. So hopefully
It's
that'll
all
work out.
about getting them at the right time when they're not touring, when they're
Yeah.
not busy, like when they're sitting there scrolling through, looking through older messages.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't think they sleep, so they're tough to get a hold of with their through their messages. Um, I'd say the other one has to be Ugly Kid Joe. I just I've been such a fan of them for so long, and I'd never even seen them play, and they don't play the States like ever. So being able to actually not just see them, but to book them, I was definitely fanboying that night. So I have to say that one's up there too for sure.
Yeah, I can only imagine, like, with some of the people, like, and it's probably like very nostalgia bands
Yeah,
that you probably go with, but I'm sure it's like when you've got like like a really great lineup of people and you're like standing there on the side like this is surreal. I put this together. Yup, this is happening.
yeah. There's been some of those moments too, for sure.
I mean, you had Soldier Boy. Like, I really wanted to come out
That's
for
pretty
that, but it
cool.
was like I couldn't get away because of Jackson with his school schedule. But man, like that looks so hype and so fun.
That was fun. That was definitely
The
a
whole crowd's like you just see them all like it looked like almost like a like a flash mob, just
yeah.
all.
They love their Soldier Boy
That's
for
awesome.
sure. Yeah, there was definitely a couple um moments of wow, this is really crazy that I did this show, but it was awesome.
Can
It
you
was a
tell
really good time.
to like where to go to find these shows that you're booking that are so stacked, like the socials for all our listeners?
Yeah, so 717entertainment.com is the easiest, and I have all my links on there.
Mhm.
And tickets, there's links to Love Drafts, there's links to the other venues, there's links to my all my socials. Um, our Eventbrite page is linked there as well. And you can find 717 on Eventbrite. We do have a page on there too. And Facebook, 717 LLC or Entertainment LLC. Instagram, 717 Entertainment LLC. Like I said, all of
Probably
them,
a gateway
pretty
for that.
much, pretty much all of the, you know,
All the
the
places to check out if you're trying to see a sick show,
yeah,
sick
yeah,
lineup. Yeah.
every single place. If you want to see an awesome show, we're there.
Mhm. Awesome.
And he's always like doing fun stuff on his page. So really make sure that you like follow all of his pages because out of nowhere he'll be like, "Oh, I got some tickets. Like, who wants to come to the show tonight?" Like, if you're not following him, you're not going to know that he's giving away tickets. So
Yeah.
follow him.
It's true.
Follow all of his pages. 717 Entertainment. They're constantly posting stuff.
Constant
Yeah.
content.
Constant stream of content. I love
Yeah,
it.
that's the idea.
But thank you so much for taking the time to come on and to talk to us about everything that's going on.
Thank you so much for having me again. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Love having
We
you on.
gotta catch up with you every now and again to know what's like going on with all the shows.
Awesome. I'm always in.
Yeah,
You just name the time and place, and I'll be there.
we appreciate you for taking the time always.
Well, thank you, guys.
Having you back.
And I'll see you at some of your future shows. Thank you so much, Nick.
Perfect. Thanks. Have a good night.
He's got so much going on all at once. And I was like, wow, I'm overloaded at the amount of shows and bands and stuff they got going on.
I
and we
can't
got
even
a lot of-
imagine like how hard it was for him to answer like what were some of his favorite shows because like I couldn't even tell you what's my favorite like 717 Entertainment.
that you've been to. Yeah. I was gonna say we've got a lot going on, Allie. So if you want to keep up with us, definitely follow our Instagram, follow
Make sure you subscribe to the show
subscribe
because
and then hit
honestly, we've got so much coming up. We have drops out of nowhere.
Yeah, left field. So to keep up with us, like, subscribe, everything below, comment. It really does help us. And we'll see you guys with the next one.
Yeah, tell us what you like. Tell us what you don't like. Thank you, everybody. Have a great week.
Bye.